If they do that, the Cougs will be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Off the window, no. Roberts tried to get it. Shed for the win. Got it.
Just with 14 points, but he just looked, the way that he dominated the game was in controlling the pace and making smart decision after decision.
Call the 5 slammer down.
Go to pizza spot before or after.
The dream is alive for Houston. Go Cougs. Let's go.
Welcome to this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review. With me is Dunlap. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing well. How about yourself, brother?
Doing pretty well. We're going to talk about Houston Blue look good.
Look good.
Might be the majority of our conversation as we recap on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs presented by the Saxenian Family. The Cougs' 2010 loss on senior night to the Baylor Bears inside TDE CU Stadium. 34,000 plus fans there. That was good. The offense wasn't good, Dayon. That's what your thoughts on what you saw, man.
I mean, let's go to the positive. Let's start positive.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Marketing is better. I'm loving the marketing. I'm loving the blue. I think that the city is definitely embracing the availability of the merchandising that's out there. I think Houston is turning a corner and recognizing, because this has been a long time coming.
Yes.
As far as like merchandise all over the city, actually advertising, touching the city, touching different things that the entire athletic department is doing to promote. So I like that's headed in the right direction. What's your thoughts?
I want people who were at today's game. This is what one of my buddies told me from Friday night's basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fans who were at the men's basketball game went to the team shop looking for the Houston Blue merch, and there wasn't a lot of variety last night
in the basketball shop.
Yep. So they got to improve that.
Okay.
But the
I always
fans,
look for improvement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the fans. Just the fact that they were asking for it, looking for it, that's a step forward. But the blue lighting at the stadium, I could see that. I was leaving Fertitta Center. Yeah, that was nice. Blue lights all over the place. Houston Blue lights, got to be specific. Houston Blue lights. Don't want to get in trouble with the shield, but that was positive. And let's do this. Well, Kenneth, I see your comment, and T, I see your comment. I'll post those in a second. Yes, positive. Yanez is doing a hell of a job promoting and getting the merch out. And Bryce, how you doing, man? Let's get your thoughts on it too, man. We're not gonna talk about football just yet. Your thoughts on the Houston Blue? Yeah, the Houston Blue merch so far, brother. How you doing?
Hey, man, what's up, fellas? What's up, man? At least we look good.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
At least the uniforms look good. I mean, it's the only thing I can say about tonight is that we look
we
good.
also talk about just the difference in marketing. I think the marketing is much different with Eddie Yanez. I think it's all over the city. What's it like from your aspect, especially being a former player now, being able to see it? Are you seeing it more, or
I am?
What's your?
And it was good. Like I had a bunch of former teammates talk about this game, and a bunch of players around the area that we hosted, which I hope was not a detriment to the team today, because I know specifically at the school I coach now, we have a very high profile player, Paris Melvin, 2026 kid, probably the best kid in the city, athlete. He was talking about the baby blue jerseys all week, going to the game and everything like that.
That's good.
And haven't got his feedback yet about what he felt about the game, and I probably don't want it right now.
Yeah, right. Probably not right now. Yeah.
Probably don't want it right now, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we look good though. I like those. Those jerseys are beautiful, man. It's probably the best uniforms in the country, and that's just not being biased. Those things are beautiful to see.
Elite. I mean, just sticking on positive, I think the defense has some bright spots out there. The defense played well.
It's been a theme all year.
Yeah. Yep.
It's been a theme all year. The defense comes out and competes. I mean, there's nights that haven't been great, but they haven't been I don't think they have a bad night all year. Where you can just say, man, they just gave it up all night. No, I don't see that from the defense
either.
Now the offense is nice like tonight where you just thinking like, can it get any worse? Like,
well, either one of y'all, which one of y'all want to go first with the pick on the goal line? The play call, whatever. Take it how you want to go. That's whatever.
Okay. And once again, I asked for credit when I think the coach be listening to me on this podcast. So I must take blame. I asked them to be a little bit more creative, do something different. And I guess they decided to do something different by throwing the ball with Kris on the goal line. If you're listening, don't do that again, ever. That was horrible. I don't think I ever just screamed at a TV and saying, why are we so freaking bad when it comes to these situations? Like, do we just skip this part in practice and just do 7-on-7 every day? Or like, what is going on where we are so bad? And Kris, come here now. No, bring your tail here, Kris. You asked for change at quarterback. So it's not it must not be the quarterbacks. To me, it's got to be the system and the play call because is Kris this bad? Is he really?
He took a step back in this game. Yeah.
Yeah, he like I just kept thinking like if we have any resemblance of good quarterback play, this team probably would be bowl eligible right now.
Well, probably be contending for a big. Our defense has played well enough that we are in every single game, despite probably having the worst quarterback play in the Big 12.
Yep.
Yes, that's facts. And I'm looking at the way that D line is playing. I'm like, we really aren't that far off from being a good team. Like I'm watching and I'm like, we can win a line of scrimmage. We don't got a blitz. We really not that far off.
The front four did its job. Yeah. And the Big 12 is I'm gonna take Bryce back, but Dan, me and Andy touched on this way back at Football Media Day about the Big 12 does not have an elite team, which is parity's great, but you need an elite team to really carry the conference. The Cougs could be that in a year with a better quarterback play.
Yes, I believe it.
Man,
I believe it.
And if you look at the teams, Arizona State, Colorado, who are top of the Big 12, what do they have that everybody doesn't have? Good quarterback play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good quarterback play. I mean, it's been that way in this league for a long time. When Oklahoma State was winning with Brandon Ween and all those guys, and Oklahoma was winning with Sam Bradford. If you have elite quarterback play in this league, you're going to be successful. I mean, we have the worst. I don't think there's a situation out there, a quarterback situation is worse than what we have at U of H. And I maybe you keep saying
maybe Michigan.
You keep bringing up the pass, but when you see Case Keenum play quarterback up close and point, you see how perfect it is. You know how it's supposed to look. Reading off guys there, throwing about accuracy, timing routes, everything like that. And you go and you see what I'm seeing every weekend. I can't stomach no more. It's like I don't know if I can watch. Like I can't stomach to watch another offensive performance like that. Like,
yeah, this point, if they don't make change, they have to. They have to. They cannot. Well, they can. They better not bring back the same play calling, QB offense. Just no, don't do it because you cannot sell that to the fans next year. You just can't.
I'm saying what you said to the fans, and y'all can say Bryce told you here now. Austin Carlisle, remember the name. If he stays committed to us,
there we go, right there. There we go.
Austin Carlisle is the best quarterback in the city, and I've seen a lot of quarterbacks in the last 5 years. I watched a lot of great quarterbacks come through. He is the best high school quarterback I've seen in the last 5 years in the Houston area. And that's just because he's a 10-5 kid that can run. He's 10-5 in 100-meter dash. You can look at the time. He can run. He can make every single throw in the book. I was just texting my buddies today, some of my former teammates. I said, man, Austin Carlisle should start day one. I can show you the text. I texted him during the game. I said, Austin Carlisle is better than that guy right now. Day one, he's better than anybody we have in the program right now. He's that good. And if he was 6'2", he'll be a 5-star prospect only because he's 5'9", 5'10". But that guy is a guy, man. I don't see how anybody in that coaches office at U of H can convince fans that coming back with what we have, it's better. It's not. We said that we thought this guy was Kris was the guy, and to be honest, he can run the ball, but when you
he can run it.
When you're that inefficient in throwing the ball, you got to be able to throw the ball. And what's going to happen is if I'm a receiver, if we don't find a quarterback that can throw the ball, you're not going to get lead guys who want to come here and play. And U of H is known for getting great skill guys. Tank Dale, before we had it, elite skill guys.
Yeah.
You're not going to get those guys anymore if you're going to have a quarterback that just can't throw the ball, push the ball down the field.
Well, and the offense became anemic. I mean, in passing situations, like all game, it was obvious. Like past situation, it's like there's no chance. Almost like no chance. It's like, yeah.
If it's 30 long, I'm already, when I'm watching the game, it's 30 long. I'm thinking punt team up. I know it's
punt team. Get ready.
Punt team, get ready, man. Like get ready, it's coming. Because I have no confidence in that.
Yeah, I don't either. No. I don't either. And let's go ahead.
But before we change, Kris, I want to ask Bryce a question as a coach.
Go ahead.
Is there camaraderie, or can you build chemistry with keeping the coaching staff, like you said? I mean, because maybe you keep Barbay, and maybe can you build camaraderie with that first year?
There's no way you keep that.
They play?
No, because one thing I remember when I was playing. We went through 3 different coordinators when I was playing in 4 years. And it's because we knew offensively how good we were. We was top 5 every single year, but we were so bad defensively. We was in the bottom 100 like every year. So every year we got new defense going on. And during the offseason, we had hope at least because this guy can't come back. We would talk about these things in the locker room. Like we were aware, like, man, I ain't gonna throw his name out there, but like, I mean, Danny was terrible his first. Like, yeah, we got this guy. Like, we got this guy. Like, okay, we got new hope now. I felt like we're gonna need some new juice because they're gonna think, man, this guy ain't it, man. Like, I was looking at scores. Our best performance was 33 points versus Rice, a bad Rice team offensively. That's the most we done scored all year. That's embarrassing. Hey, Coach Fritz, call me up. I can call better offense than that. I promise you. Call me up, man. Call me up. I'm going to call away.
Let's go ahead and play it. Speaking of Coach Fritz, here we go with some post-game comments from Willie Fritz.
For most of the year, do you feel like that type of performance puts you in position? I mean, do you feel
they've done a very good job. You know, we've played very good defense this year. You know, I think we've got some good players at first level, second level, and third level, and by and large, they've played very good this season.
Next question, Kris.
Willie, Wilson's ball skills and to get his hands on those interceptions. What does he mean to this?
I think he's a really smart football player. He's engaged during the week. He pays attention during meetings. So often the big deal is splits and down and distance and field zone and all those things. You gotta understand all those very quickly, and he does a good job of that. Heck, the first one he intercepted, I think our guy kind of tripped him up. He might have had a big return on that. So yeah, he's does a good job of anticipating routes.
A few more questions. Willie, with this being senior night, I know you only had 1 year with this class. Are there any seniors that are going to stand out to you that you're going to use as maybe examples going forward as coach?
There's a bunch of them. I hate naming one guy. We got, as I told those guys last night in our team meeting, they didn't pick me. I picked them, and they. I've had very, very few issues, and that's a tribute to them. Because oftentimes in this day and age, things aren't going exactly the way you want it. People start pouting and causing issues and problems. But these guys have done an excellent job of representing our football program and university.
Coach, this offense was able to sustain drives in the third quarter. How can they be able to finish with touchdowns?
Just got to score points. Like I talked about, we got to have the right play call. When we have the right play call, we got to have the proper execution, and that's very, very important. And there's majority of play calls are designed to be successful, and sometimes not. You think they're going to run one thing and they do something totally different, but you got to execute it. And when you execute it, you got an opportunity to have the play be successful as well.
Coach, are you guys having one game left in the regular season? Would you be open to maybe seeing different quarterbacks play for that last game?
I don't know. We have to look at the tape and see.
Up front here to Kris, and then time for two more.
Willie, you mentioned the senior class, but overall, the whole group, what is it about this group that's kept them together, and how encouraging is that?
Well, we just we just don't we don't allow negativity and guys pouting, and I just told them all, got anybody who doesn't want to go out to Utah and win the game next week, they ought to not play on the team. It's plain and simple. You only got 12 of these opportunities, and we got one left. So we need to put everything into it that we possibly can. That's how I'm going to coach. I think that's what these guys are going to do as far as practice this week as well. That's what we're going to demand, and I think we got a lot of quality leadership, and those guys are going to make sure that all the guys adhere to that principle.
There you go. Comments from head coach Willie Fritz after Cougs 2010 loss to Baylor. Well, the thing that stood out to me was the play calling was good. You got to execute. Okay. Let's go ahead right there, Bryce. What do you think?
I think that's trying to save face for your OC, knowing that when I'm glad they asked me the question, knowing that even the reporter seeing it, Stevie Wonder seeing it, everybody's seeing that the play calling is
Hey, you don't gotta know football to know that.
Come on, man.
Ray Charles saw it.
Ray Charles saw it. like, come on, like I respect him for standing up in there trying to stand up for your offensive coordinator and realize, okay, maybe I didn't hire the right guy, but I'm not gonna throw him under the bus because and we all know he has not done a great job this year, and it's just no justification that you could say, okay, this guy we just not executing. He's calling up like no. Sometimes I look at the play call and I'm thinking to myself, how is this even on your script? How is this on your play card? How? Like what made you say, oh, this is a perfect time to call this pass play in the rest? Like what made? Maybe the issue is we need to bring him to these press conferences after the game, and we need to be able. He needs to answer these questions because I have a bunch of questions for him, man, and he can explain them to me because then I'd be, oh, that's what you were thinking. All right, yeah, you definitely need to go now. And I'm not one of those guys who's in big calling for people jobs, but at some point he needs to stand in front and explain some of the decisions he's making. And if it's not him and he's Coach Fritz, he needs to step up for it. Then step up and say, all right, I told him to call this.
Kris B is right on the first part of this about Coach Fritz wanted to bring the Tulane OC with him. Mm-hmm. He decided to stay at Tulane. Second part, I don't think Coach Fritz panicked. I mean, I'm not sure what other options were available that UH could afford. Okay, because money is the issue for us still to this day. So who knows? But hopefully that won't be an issue this offseason because that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry, brother.
No, you're good. I was just agreeing. I like the approach to stand up for his guy. So tilt my hat to that. But it's just like I only see one plan watching the game. And if that plan doesn't work, I don't see a plan B. It's just like
no adjustments.
Let's try this. No adjustments. But let's just try this. That's what it seems like. Maybe this will work. It's like Bryce just said. It's just like, oh, I don't know, man. But Coach Fritz did the right thing because he could have easily pointed the finger, but he did. He didn't.
Salute to Andy for asking Coach Fritz
the question.
He was considering playing a different quarterback.
Yeah.
Against BYU. He put it out there. You know, we really expect Coach Fritz to answer right now, but at least Andy asked the question. So you cannot doubt that part of it. But I'll ask y'all. Next week against BYU, do you want to see Uyale get a shot?
I would like to see
it.
him.
Don't matter who you put at quarterback.
It don't matter.
Truth be told, like my whole question is, the guy was the offensive coordinator at Mississippi State, correct?
Right.
Who goes from an SEC program to a Big 12 program?
Right.
Yeah.
That's red flags to me. Like, his coach didn't want to keep him on. Like, what made you go from there? And okay, but going to the next one. I'm sorry. I'm still.
Let's play some quick bills real quick. We want to give thanks to the Cougs for being a sponsor for Let's Race Coogs. The Cougs and Tailgate was located in the blue lot on all football game days. They invited everyone to come. So if you missed it this season, be sure to look out for them next year. And they have a ton of music and everything. So real thanks to the Houston family. Follow them at Houston on social media for their tailgate details and as they return for the 2025 season. Also, this episode is brought to you by Star Pizza, Houston's destination for hot pizza delivery since 1975. 3 local locations in the Houston area. Make Star Pizza your go-to shop before and after games, and tell them that Parts and Majama sent you. You can visit them online as well at starpizza.net and social media at StarPizza HOU. And last but certainly not least, pick 3 on your triple play at BB's near you. Visit them online at texorleans.com. Go see their numerous Houston locations and their menu for some Cajun seafood. AJ Halsey got another pick. We got three picks. 3 picks today. 1 pick 6.
That was the offense.
That was the
more yardage than the offense, man. That's crazy.
Oh man. We laugh because keep us from crying.
Right. But man, that defense, I really think coming back with some good quarterback play and maybe just more development, a couple more players here and there. But like he said, on 3 levels, we got guys on all 3 levels. And it's like,
I'm sorry to keep bringing it up, but our OC, go back to 2019. He was at Abilene State for 1 year. He was at SFA for 1 year. He was at this school for 2 years. He was at another school for 1 year. It seems like every year he's been OC is 1 year and something he's moving on. That's a red flag.
Yes, it is.
Come on, like he hasn't stayed at any place more than 2 years. Maybe because fans or the head coach say, you know what, this is not the guy I thought. Man, he interviews well on the board. He talks good X's and O's, but when it comes to live bullets, man, he's not the same guy.
Any names out there that you could think of?
You got somebody
any
want
names aboard? Maybe on the college football radar or anywhere?
I like what I would say JP Price at UTSA. He's a receiver coach there. He's a former high school coach at North Shore, so his recruiting ties are really well in the Houston area and Texas area. UTSA put a bunch of good money. He's in a good system now with Coach Traylor. I would like for him to get a chance, get a shot to see what he could do. Most of the time, like when you get OC that can also recruit and bring in players, like it could be like the Deion effect. If you can get a bunch of good, talented guys in, it helps you become a better OC because you got a bunch of Jimmy and Joes that can help. They can make your job a lot easier, like getting the ball out quick or getting open separation. I think if you can get a guy in that will bring a bunch of buzz around, that can get local kids to like, hey man, he does a great job at recruiting UTSA. Now you give him a chance to get to Houston. He would do wonders down here, being the OC. I think he's assistant head coach at UTSA. Oh, my line brother, Justin Johnson. Yeah, I know Juice. Juice. I know he would do a great job. He's very knowledgeable. He played in high power offense, played in the air raid. Texas Tech scores a bunch of points down, and they don't play much defense. They score a bunch of points. He was able to recruit the number 1 receiver in the country last year from Tech out of the Austin area to come to Texas Tech with him, and they put up numbers. Matter of fact, that's the number one guy, Justin Johnson.
Number one guy.
It may sound biased, my link doing
all
it,
right.
but I know he would do a great job. He's U of H born and raised. Like he understood what it took. He was a part of one of the greatest teams that we ever had when we was undefeated, 12-0, top 6 in the country when my senior year. So he was a part of that. So he understands what it's like. And if we can't outside name, and I'm telling you now, he's still playing, but he's not playing. Case Keenum is going to be a college head coach really soon. And you said, "Oh, Beall told me this a couple years ago." He's going into coaching. I already know this. I've talked to the guy. Case Keenum
That'd be a home run hire.
Would be a home run hire for U of H. If not the head coach, let him come back as the OC and eventually promise him the head job. He'll do a great job.
Yeah, coaching wins. Yeah, that's the number one guy. Greatness. Tom Herman looking for a job.
No, forget Tom.
Case would be a home run.
High horse had him. Hey man, put a fence around the Houston H-Town like that, and then you dip on us, man. No, forget Tom Herman. Man.
It's been downhill for him since. But Case, I like that. Or Juice, just great recruit. Like all them names is great.
Bryce, who you want to hear from next? Jeremiah Wilson or Zion Kris?
I want to hear from Kris.
All right,
yes,
here we go.
Please.
UH quarterback Zion Kris, post-game comments.
For questions, just kindly ask you all to use the mic, and we'll get that passed around.
Zion, a couple weeks here in a row, it's been hard to find any points. What was it about tonight? Was it something they did, or did you guys just feel like you were never able to get into a rhythm?
We really want catching our rhythm for real. We had a lot of missed opportunity that we could have capitalized on. I just think that we just need to focus on capitalizing on opportunities and just being consistent.
Coach Fritz was saying that this will get fixed. This will turn around. Do you feel like it's almost there? Is it little corrections, or do you feel like you guys really need to go back and look at things really hard?
What Fritz said, I believe in whatever he's putting together, what he's doing. I believe he's going to get fixed. We just got to keep trusting in the process and whatever he's coaching us on. I trust Fritz. Even since day one when I got here, I'm still believing him.
Zion, as a quarterback, what are some of the different things you see when you're moving the ball kind of in your own territory, midfield, versus the red zone, which I know has been a struggle lately for the offense?
Like I said before, it just capitalize on opportunities. We drive down the field, and we do good, and we get in the red zone and just finishing. That's all it is. It's just want to.
How important do you think scoring that first touchdown and getting that 7-0 lead could have been for the offense, just from a mentality standpoint, the rest of the game?
It has been very important, especially because, we created momentum for the team. But, I try not to focus on all the negative energy or negative thoughts, just keep playing. That's the game about.
So Kris up front, and then over to Andy.
Zion, you've seen your defense, playing so well. Does that heighten the frustration offensively, or how do you guys sort of look at that as you're, in these tight games?
The defense has been playing very well, and it's up to us, to put the points on the board. They getting stopped and things like that. But like I said, we got to capitalize and help those guys out, and put points on the board. But if we're not scoring, then you nobody no help.
See, what was the call on that from the 5, the interception there? Was that going to be a pass all along? The one that you threw the corner there that was intercepted in the first quarter?
It was kind of like a man read. We get man to man. We're going to take our shot to that pylon.
And
kind of building off that, what did you see from your perspective on that play? On the goal in the first quarter?
Like I said, just another missed opportunity. I'll take the blame for that one. I probably should have put the ball outside a bit more. We practiced on it all week. We did great on it all week, but in the moments that we need to capitalize, we need to do it.
Zion, how would you just characterize your performance overall? Your thoughts on
Like I said, it wasn't the best performance. It's easy to put your head down, but I just got to keep working, keep going to work, just like the rest of the team. But we just got to keep believing in each other.
We'll go to Andy and then two more.
Just in terms of the second half, first two drives, like you guys came out, you guys were able to move the ball relatively well. What do you guys, when you guys are having that success, what were you seeing that's contributing to that success and being able to get into positions to score?
Like I said, it's just a want-to. It's a mindset thing, I don't feel like it's no different, being in open field or being in the red zone. It just when the moment's there, you gotta capitalize on it. All 4 downs, we get chances multiple times. We just didn't complete the job.
Go up here to Joseph and then keep it open for one last one.
Willie was telling us that in the locker room, he kind of made a challenge that, look, if you don't want to fight for the last game here, don't even go on the trip. How did you feel like the locker room responded to that?
We responded really well with it. Fritz is a great leader, so we're falling behind him. And like you said, if you're not willing to fight, then you can leave. But everybody in that locker room, we willing to fight it out to the end, to the wheels fall off.
One more. Right up.
Zion, the last 2 games after that Kansas State game, do you feel like the defenses have kind of bottled up the QB run better? Like you don't really see that opening downfield as much anymore?
We do have some opportunities that it could be there, but teams watch film, they try to see what you like doing. So just create different plays, and opportunities just like that. Coach did a great job. The game plan, we just got to execute.
There you are, post-game comments from Zion Kris, and joining us from the field at the stadium, Mr. Andy Yanez, after he got his hair fixed. Don't see him, doing all that off camera. But,
yes, sir. Got to get my locks cropped. Is there an echo, by the way? I was last game of the season. There was just something. You know what? I forgot my AirPods, so if there's an echo, let me know, and I'll mute myself whenever y'all talk.
No, sounds good, man.
No, it's not an echo, but we need to get a hashtag across the screen. You heard it here first. Case for OC. Bring Case home. We need to start that hashtag right now.
Yeah, Andy, Bryce brought it up as a Case Keenum. Yeah.
I heard. I was I was editing the clips, and I could. Yeah, he is not a fan of Barbe, and he really was coming for him. Shoot, it can't be worse than what it is now. Like, dang, they haven't scored a touchdown in over 9 quarters now. That it's been, I believe, heading into the 4th quarter now.
How many times has that happened during the season, though? We said we ain't scored.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, let's not ignore the fact that they began the season getting shut out. Back to pretty close, like the first 6 quarters or so, along those lines. Yeah, the offense has just been, and it's just the predictability about it on offense. You feel bad. You feel bad for a lot of the different playmakers that Houston has. Like Joseph Manjack last season showed what he can do for this team, and he has just not been given the opportunity. He has not been given the opportunity. I don't think he's had a game this year where he has more than 3 catches. Or he probably does. If he does, it's a handful. He just has been limited to the amount of opportunities he's had. And I think a big reason for that is because it's really, really predictable, questionable play calling. The one highlight that Joseph Manjack did have tonight, and by God, I have no idea how that pass made it back to Zion Kris, but that
was a rainbow.
Somehow it got to Zion Kris. Still, Houston's not able to capitalize on that drive and turn it into a touchdown. Opening drive after they had gotten the interception, they had momentum. They were going down the field. It looked like they had an opportunity to score, and it leads to that interception. It's just a backbreaker. It's a backbreaker to the defense that's played so well. And I see a comment that they held this Baylor offense that was coming into this game putting up 30, 40 points against opponents, 40-plus points on opponents. They held them to half of that, 20 points. And Jeremiah Wilson talked about in his post-game press conference, like at the end of the day, the defense is they say their goal is to hold opponents to 0 points. How realistic that is, that's not realistic. And regardless of what they say, it's got to be frustrating to be on that side of the ball and play so well against, these are some, again, high-powered offenses, and just see the offense not even able to produce a touchdown. And have opportunities to execute, and they just don't do it. And yeah, I heard Bryce. He's really he's done with the offensive coordinator play calling. And shoot, Case Keenum, he was here. They were the ones that were putting up 30, 40 points a game. So why not? Why not? You heard it here first. To Let's Rage Coogs might as well start that trend. # make Case Keenum the offensive coordinator.
Well, let's go ahead and play the clip from Jeremiah Wilson, and then we'll get back and continue our campaign to make Case Keenum the OC.
Yeah, well, the first one was good. My dog bumped into me, but I don't really care about that. We got the pick, and last week he caught my pick that I dropped. So, you know what I'm saying? We just there for each other. I don't hold nothing against him. I appreciate him always being there, running to the ball. He just wanted to block for me. And then the second one, I just read it, you know what I mean? And then I got out of there. Great calls by coach, great pressure up front to make the quarterback nervous and just throw me the ball.
Jeremiah, with the offensive struggles recently, how important do you feel like it is for the defense to kind of set the tone like you did today and get those turnovers in the first quarter?
Yeah. We going to keep setting the tone and keep trying our best, to give them the best chance at winning. You know what I mean? And we seen when they're on. When they're on, they're really good. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to keep fighting, keep going hard in practice, trying to push them. You know what I'm saying? Just like how they pushed us, because when we're down, they you know what I'm saying? They'll get on us, and when we're down, when they down, we'll get on them. So, you know what I mean? We just going to build off of it. We ain't pointing no fingers, you know what I'm saying? I know they're going to fix it soon, you know what I mean? So we just going to roll into BYU with a lot more confidence.
This is a Baylor team that's been scoring 35-plus points on the regular. So to hold them to 2 touchdowns and 20 points a day, what's that kind of say about your unit?
We good. Yeah, we're good. We got a good defense, man. I love playing with them. We took on Thursday, we were a little lackadaisical, and our coach brought us in and he told us, he said, listen, dog, David Randa said that we're about to be playing the best defense in the conference. And that just put a smile on our faces because we know how great of a coach he is. You know what I'm saying? He was with the LSU team 2019. So, especially me watching them growing up. So, after that, we just started rolling with everything, started believing that we were the best defense in the conference.
Kris.
Jeremiah, how much are those interceptions film study and how much is it instinct? And how do you sort of merge those two together?
Man, I got to thank God because, I was close to, just saying, dang, like, how's it not working? Because, I put in a lot of work and I put in a lot of time to film study, And it finally just paid off today. And I got to thank God for that because he put me in the position to do it, gave me the opportunity and let me play confident. So, for sure.
Couple more questions. Goes Andy here in the front.
Jeremiah, with the success that the defense has had all season long, like you mentioned, how for you as a player and just overall with the unit, how optimistic are you guys about how well y'all can be? Like, this is barely year one under this new coaching staff, and what do you guys think you guys can continue to build on going into BYU and beyond?
I think our defense got better every game, and I think everybody can see that as well. We got better every game. We started playing for each other, and going into BYU, we just gonna keep playing for each other. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. I think that trumps all. If you love your brother and you want to play hard for him, then you're gonna be a good defense. Everyone gonna run to the ball, and great things gonna happen. So that's the best thing. We're gonna keep loving on each other, keep playing hard, keep practicing hard. Everything gonna fall into place.
Go last question up front to Joseph right here.
Jeremiah, as a defense, what do you guys sort of are thinking there when games go on and you're holding? I know you said there's no blame and no pointing fingers, but you're sort of keeping the game close. Last week, this week, and you sort of kind of have to carry that load, waiting for hopefully a score. I mean, does that wear on you guys, or does that sort of affect y'all?
Not at all. I think defense enjoys playing. You know what I mean? Every time something happens, we say, let's go, let's play ball. Like, we don't care if you know what I mean, put it at the 1 yard line. We don't care, you know what I'm saying? Like, we like going out there and playing more snaps. We want the game in our hands, you know what I mean? We want to make plays, and we know they're going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You can't point fingers like you said, we can't point fingers because there were some things we could have did a lot better. You know what I mean? There was a lot of leaking yards. You know what I'm saying? We could have played a little more aggressive. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, the ball fell in their court, so we just going to keep riding, keep playing hard, keep practicing.
So that was Jeremiah Wilson being a leader. Yeah, didn't throw anyone under the bus. Did say what he was supposed to and took responsibility. Said the defense could have done more, which I mean, especially during certain drives, he was right. And I mean, they're motivated there, but from the success that they've had this season, and they're looking ahead to BYU and beyond, which I think that's obviously has been the strength of this Houston Cougars team. It's been that defense. There's a lot of optimism on that side of the ball and what could get done, and build off of the great year that they've had year one here in the Big 12 under Willie Fritz.
Muted, brother.
I said he's definitely right. The defense definitely has gotten better every game. That's one thing he said. He's spot on with that. They keep fighting.
Not only have they got better, they've been consistent. I mean,
yeah.
You know they're gonna play hard. They're gonna find a way to get turnovers. They're gonna have a plan, and they're gonna make adjustments on the fly. I mean, first week UNLV was getting off a little bit, and they made adjustments against UNLV offense, and they was able to contain them. That side of the ball done a great job of in-game game adjustments, where the opposite side has done the worst job I've seen in-game adjustments. When a team gives you something that you weren't expecting, how on the fly can you fix? Do you have a problem? How can you solve the problem, solve the issue? And we have not solved the issue on the offensive side, but the defensive side is they've been the problem. They've been the problem to offenses all year long. They've created chaos. They created turnovers. They created havoc. And they get tackle for losses, they get turnovers, and they've been sensational. I mean, the defense has played the type of defense we played this year has been a Big 12 worthy defensive championship type team. Those are the type of teams that usually win or play for conference championship. They played well, led by the best safety in the country, AJ Hawsey. They played amazing. Despite playing with one of the worst offenses in the country, where at times I would think as a defensive player, not this again. Why not this again? Like, how many times you think they ran out there thinking, this is unbelievable? We're on the 5 yard line, we can't get in. Like, how many times do you think them guys really think that on the sideline?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Off the record, they probably talk off
they
forward.
they won't say it. I know they're thinking.
Yeah, like this is trash.
And despite all that, they've been one of the best units.
But I want to acknowledge this guy too, Michael Trigg for Baylor, wide receiver. His hands, he must have some of the biggest hands. He's strong hands.
Yeah, tight end. He's like a big dude.
Yeah. So salute to him. But the Cougs did a better job on him in the second half. You hardly heard from him in the second half. So that's adjustment. To Bryce's point, adjustments. Unlike the offense where the Cougs that. What was the plan? What is the plan going to game? You know, game in, game out. Sometimes it was trying to run the ball. Bryce saying this pick.
Let this play work.
It's like they're playing Madden or College Football 25, and they put the coach recommendation play.
Yeah, it's just something. I don't know what they're going to be running, Coach. I don't know what coverage they're going to be in, but hopefully this play in on the Friday. We saw we're going to get man coverage with a quarterback who doesn't throw accurately in tight man coverage, but we're going to make this throw anyway. Pick. Like, you just can't make this up.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to say this. I'm kind of curious at y'all's reaction. Alabama only scored 3 points against Oklahoma tonight. The Cougs scored more than that against Oklahoma.
Yeah. I saw that. heading down to the press conference, I made a joke. I guess that means if Houston and Alabama played, Houston could come out on top.
Oklahoma won 24-3. How about that? Boy, Bama fans must be sick. They must be sick.
It's you know what? That shows that the SEC is overrated.
I wouldn't say overrated.
Yeah,
it shows that the people think that the SEC is all about talent. That has a lot to do with the size. I'm telling you, when I played, the biggest teams we played were Mississippi State. Those teams, they were massive. But that's not what makes them so tough. It's the environments that you go in. It's so hard to go into those environments. Mississippi State was not even known for one of the toughest environments. But when we played there, when Dagnan was there, it was them bells ring. It was loud. It was 60,000 plus. It makes it where you have to be able to get adjusted to the noise. You have to create your own energy on the road. So going on the road in the SEC is the toughest thing in college football to do. And I didn't play in SEC, but I played games in SEC, and that was the biggest challenge for us was going into those environments and not being able to have your normal snap count, we had to do silent count everything. So they jump. We're not getting off the ball as we normally would on the offensive line wise. So it's not that it's the talent wise is the best conference. Those environments are the hardest things to go into. Like I have friends who tell me going to Death Valley at nighttime is the toughest thing in college football. Yep. If you get those Louisiana people all night drink, that's what makes it so difficult. It's the talent level. I mean, yeah, everybody has to go on the road, but I'd rather go on the road in Indiana or Oregon State or somewhere like that. It's not the same as it's going into Death Valley, going into Tuscaloosa, going into Paul Burst. Those environments will make it so different. And Norman is no different. Oklahoma's one of the toughest to play a football game in. So when that doesn't surprise me when things like that happen in the SEC.
Bryce, how much would you love for that type of environment to come to TD-ECU Stadium at some point in our lifetimes, filled with Coug fans making it rough on opponents?
I think the last time I've been inside of an environment like that with U of H probably was my senior year when we was ranked and we played Texas Tech. Andy, you probably was in middle school, elementary. I don't know. We played them at the Robb Stadium. You probably know what the Robb is, Andy.
Nah, I heard of Robertson Stadium.
We played them at the Robb, and it was sold out. And that environment, we won by 1 point, 29-28. That environment won us that game. I mean, it was whatever it held. It was a record. It was packed in there. It was an environment, and I can only imagine one day. I mean, I pray for days like this. That Meek Mill said it best. I pray for days where it's everybody is filled to TD Stadium, and we're playing for a meaningful game. It don't even have to be conference championship. When I say meaningful, it's playing for a spot to get a conference championship or playing against a big time opponent. I mean, last time we had a meaningful home field advantage like that. And I won't even think of home advantage when we played Baker Mayfield and them in NRG.
Now, last home game was when Louisville came.
I was at that game. I don't feel like that was really just a massive when you think about those.
From what I've seen, as far as TCU,
U of A standard, yes, but
yeah,
when you go on the road and you see those SC environments, like the last time I seen Peck environment was like that at the Robb, and I hope we can get back to those days, man. I really do.
When we get Case Keenum as OC and head coach in waiting, that'll start right there.
That'll start.
Bryce Beall said it first, right here on Let's Rage Coogs. Bryce spit it out there.
I know he has interest in coaching when his playing days is over, and he's one of the smartest people I've ever been around offensively. Like he will call the offense basically by himself out there. He would be an excellent mind, an excellent offensive coordinator, if not a straight head coach one day. And hey, it's happening. I mean, Deion Sanders, he had high school price from Eddie George, Ray Lewis thinking about getting into coaching now. Why not Case Keenum?
I mean, D.A. King, the quarterback's coach at SMU, and he's having a lot of success over there.
He's having a lot of success.
QB coach, OC. I mean, I like it. I like it.
Isn't the answer to this question obvious?
Oh, without question. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We need to get Matthews Mack on the phone. Like, what kind of NIL? What can he come up with? It needs to be the number one thing we address. I mean, it's the city of Houston. It's the city. If you could come up with something in the city of Houston and the tradition that we had at the quarterback position with Greg Ward, why not? Let's do what we can to get one of the top 9. Look, let me tell you, quarterback. Look what Cam Ward has done to Miami.
Yes.
He has made them a legit playoff team just by him going from another Texas kid. I
was just about to say another Texas kid.
The top 5 passing touchdown leaders in the NCAA going into this week were all Texas high school quarterbacks.
Yes.
We got to find a way to get one of our own to stay at the University of Houston.
Agreed.
We just have to do it, and it should be priority. So I don't know, hey man, if I need to set a meeting, whatever, what we need to do, we got to make this happen. We need to make this happen.
We need it.
NIL is important, obviously, but another thing we touched on it just minutes ago. Bryce brought it up. This is why I just hammer home to my alums: we got to fill up the stadium, because you go to a QB. I mean, unless you give him, $5 million, whatever. Some players are going to say, but nobody comes to the games. Y'all don't draw well. We have to fill up the stadium, because there are kids who look at that. Look at the crowds. Y'all don't have crowds. Yeah, I saw y'all on TV. Nobody's there. Why should I go there when I can go somewhere else and play in front of a larger crowd? We have to change that mindset and support our Cougs. This is our team, right?
I think with the blue jersey, the one thing they could have done was find a way to make it like a high school recruiting, or not recruiting, like where invite students from high school. You bring your high school.
A student night.
You get into the game. Like get some high school. Get a lot of people, because what you say, you're not making money. You're not making money with empty seats anyway.
Right. Yes,
it's not happening anyway. So you find a way to get people in, because I know it was a big recruiting week. I know a bunch of recruits who were at the game.
It was by far. Yeah, I walked right past it when I went up.
It was a big recruiting week. So the another way to capitalize on that is also open up a big special families. Hey, you bring 4 people to the game for the price of 1. I mean, you like do something, get creative where you can get seats in the stands and make it more desirable. But when you don't have fans showing up, you gotta bite it. I understand you're not getting your money back, what you need, but you're not getting it anyway because people are not coming. So you got to figure out a way to get seats in it, and to build a better product. You got to have people that give people a reason to come, and athletes a reason to want to come to the stadium, come to play for U of H, because they see the fan support. So I think that's one thing we can get a little better at. And the hierarchs who are from U of H, if you listen to this podcast, I'm open to meet. I'm open to meet anything to help the university. I love this school. This school gave me my opportunity. So whatever you guys need from me, come holler at me, because obviously I'll be watching, especially the coaches at U of H, but you're not taking it the right way. That's a different subject.
And we know they're watching, because they said it to me. They said it to Andy. I'm sure, Bryce, you've heard it too. They're watching this show. They watch Let's Rage Coogs. I've had one of the administrators say to me, keep up the good work y'all are doing. Thank you for some of the ideas. We're putting that into practice. So they do watch this show. And what are you going to say? I'm sorry.
Who, me?
Yeah, you had a thought and you just stopped.
Well, but just going on to what Bryce said, no, you got to think outside the box. You got to be creative, and he was absolutely right. There was a lot of recruits in the stands for this game, and I mean, to have it ends up being an investment, right? If you get future signees in the building, even if you don't make money that night, maybe potentially a year, 2 years from now, they come, they see the environment, they liked the uniform. We mentioned it last week after the Arizona game, right? There wasn't much to talk about. The one thing we could guarantee about this game is that they were going to look good. And damn, they still look really good in those jerseys. And this time they went all out with the field. And I mean, give credit. It was a decent showing. It's not where it needs to be, but 34,000 plus inside as the lower bowl looked relatively filled. That's something that you can build on. And again, it's kind of like an investment. Get them in the building, recruit them, talk to them after the game, talk to them before the game, And who knows, if you can invite 500, 400, whatever the number is, and shoot, if you can get into at least a handful of them, maybe even a quarter of them to consider U of H, you consider that as win, even if you don't make money that night. That's a great point by Bryce.
And
Great points.
Got to get rid of the OC because Austin
Gotta get
Carlisle, any quarterback. Yeah, any quarterback. Yeah, I'll come to UH, but who's going to be calling the plays? Because I want to throw the ball. I want to be in part of a high-powered offense, not whatever this stuff is y'all are doing right now.
Yeah, they want to get the highlights. They want to play in the next level. They're not going to get to the next level playing offense like how Houston's done it this season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put this up. Houston only supports a winner. That's true to a point, but I'm going to flip it around. I said it on a previous show earlier this week. There are 300,000 UH alums in the greater Houston area. 300,000. We struggle. Notice I'm saying we if you're new to the show. We, because I'm an alum. We struggle to get 30,000 at the football games. 300,000 alums in the area. We cannot get 30,000 people to come to the games. That winning, losing, that come to the game because it's your alma mater. You got your degree there. Yep. So you must have thought enough about the school to get your degree. So why not think enough about the program to support football and athletics?
But we also said this before on the show too, that most Houston fans or Houston Cougar fans, however you want to describe them, come to watch the other team.
Yes.
You just think basketball right now, they've been even when they're ranked in the top 10, top 5, whatever. If they're not playing a Big 12 or high quality matchup, then it's not a sellout.
Yep.
It is not a sellout. And so the same thing goes for football.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's fact.
There were a lot of Baylor colors in the stands.
How many was it? Was it still more?
Oh yeah, there was still a good majority of UH fans. I would say it was probably about 70-30 around there. It wasn't too bad, but it was noticeable.
I'll take that. But Deion has said it. I've said it a whole bunch of times. I've killed a horse. I beat it so much about it. Support the Cougs, not the opponent. Support the Cougs. This is our school. Support the Cougs. Football, basketball, athletics. Support the Cougs.
I think they're on the right track though. Just I think the emphasis of recruiting Houston, getting a lot of Houston-based kids, that brings about more families, more kids, more being able to touch home. I think it is a way to do that. And then with the marketing, I think it could be done. I think
getting
also
better.
It's getting better.
We got the right person in charge with that, so that's a positive. Because we also got to add this to it. UH has to do its part. You got to market. You got to take those phone calls. Treat your customers right. All those things work together hand in hand. You have to give fans reason to want to come back.
Like I saw a video online. It's easy marketing with Bun B in a Houston blue hoodie. Hey, come get your Trill burgers at the last home game. Like stuff like that goes a long way.
Yeah,
goes a long way.
What do I think about this? I want to see how the team's going to do it. About the Houston Blue for the basketball team.
Nah, whatever they would do, they would make it work. It would look nice because the football jerseys look nice.
I've seen mock jerseys online.
Yeah,
I've seen mock jerseys online. It'd be beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, but the blue is really it's for the Oilers colors, correct? If I'm not mistaken, right? We can't typically say that
for the city.
Because
but.
The police cars back in the day were blue, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's the Oilers. That's why they got almost.
It's like, I don't know if it has the same type of impact with the basketball team, and I don't want the basketball to be contaminated by anything that's going on in football right now. Anyway, so let's just keep the black jersey and what we got going on in the basketball, so we can win this natty this year. So let's just stay away from anything the football team is doing right now because we're on a totally different path. We are a national prominence. We are dominant. We're one of the best teams in the country. We're finna run the table. We're finna do what we gotta do. So we're gonna win the Big 12. We actually won the Big 12 before. So let's do the opposite of what the football team is doing right now.
I will say this though, like Dayon, I've seen the replica jerseys in person because there's fans that wear them to games, and they if they do something along those lines, they'll sell and they'll make a lot of money off of them. So we'll see. We'll see if they can even get it done, right? I think that's kind of been the delay in terms of Jordan and all the things. So if they do it, it'll be good from a standpoint of they'll make money, and I think it would look good. I think they would find a way to make it look good.
Yeah, because they're marketing as Houston Blue.
Yeah. And then the other good thing about this whole campaign that they didn't do last year and they've done a really good job this year is it's a way to attract people that don't necessarily have a direct tie to the University of Houston because it is that Houston Blue, and they see it, they think Oilers immediately, and it's a lot of nostalgia, especially back for those people that grew up watching the Oilers back then. So they've made a lot of money from people that just aren't affiliated with U of H simply because they like the color and they like it reminds them of the old Oilers. So that's another advantage that they've had off this whole campaign. And the field looks nice too.
Yeah, that's a great point. Some of those fans bought the jerseys because they reminded them of the Lovey Blue era and Bum Phillips. Those teams that kept promising to kick the door down and never did, but those teams are part of the city's blood. You know, that's a connection. And if you bought the jersey because of that, thank you. That money still comes to UH. We appreciate it. Let's wrap it up, man. We're going over an hour. Andy's eyes glazing over there on the field.
I'm just admiring the end zone because it looks really nice. That's the silver lining. No matter what, they look good in this game. Since we wrap it up, one game left. BYU,
struggling BYU.
Yep, they're coming. They're kind of crashing down a little bit. Saw from the clip from head coach Willie Fritz. I asked him if potentially they might see another quarterback. If not be Zion or Donovan Smith. He said he'll watch the film. He gave me a no answer, but we'll see. The reason I asked, I figured last game of the season, and in my opinion, it would make logical sense at least to see what you might have, because like that comment was brought up, they're going to need to do something next year, right? They're going to have to bring in. They're going to have the freshman quarterback coming in, but you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You got to bring somebody that's seasoned, that has experience, and that can lead an offense. Hopefully under, not to beat a dead horse, but new play caller. But that being said, why not? What's the harm? We've seen Zion a handful of games now. I think we can all agree he has strength, but he's very limited, especially when it comes as a thrower, as a passer of the ball. And it was evident on all three picks in this game that there's a lot of stuff that he has to clean up and work on. And then obviously we saw from Donovan Smith the first few games of the season. So just from my opinion, my viewpoint, why not? What's there to lose?
Sam, he's bringing it up. He says he can't because if Ali balls out, it's still going to be competition next year at QB.
I mean, if it does, then you bring him back. And whoever you bring in the freshman, then
Yeah, the OC's not coming back. The OC no. Cannot, should not, better not come back. No.
And
hire
we're not
Bryce
talking
the
Big
OC.
12 back.
Hire Dayon as the OC. Hire Andy as the OC. Somebody, but not the same guy they have right now. No. My phone as OC. Somebody, no. That's not the same dude calling plays next year. No, cannot.
Agreed.
Well, that being said, that's pretty much going to wrap things up for today's episode of Let's Rage Coogs. We've reached the penultimate episode of Let's Rage Coogs. We'll see what happens between Houston and BYU a week from today, November 30th, in what will be well, I guess the kickoff time has not been announced yet, correct? It's still to be determined. Hopefully it's not a 9 p.m. game, because this week there's gonna be a lot of Let's Rage Coogs after dark.
Yeah.
So hopefully they schedule a little bit earlier in the day, but we'll see. Last game of the season, you heard from the presser and Willie Fritz. Seemed like he had a big talk with the team about having the right mindset. They have one game left. They're gonna coach them up and try to come out and play spoiler for BYU when it comes to their season, and get a big road win on the road at BYU and Provo. That being said, would like to say thank you to our sponsors for today's episode of Let's Rage Coogs. Obviously, starting with Steve Saxenian, who's the primary sponsor of not only this episode of Let's Rage Coogs, but each and every single post-game show for both football and men's basketball. So big thank you to him for being the primary sponsor. And of course, we also like to say thank you to Star Pizza. With 3 locations throughout the Houston area, Star Pizza is your go-to stop for pizza before or after the game. They've been around since 1976, and as always, they're known for their always hot and free delivery throughout the Houston area. And of course, be sure to visit them online at starpizza.net. They have multiple deals throughout the week. Be sure to check them out on Tuesdays and Fridays for their all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. And we also like to say thank you to the Houston Tailgate. I'm really unfortunate I wasn't able to stop by their tailgate today. I'm sure they had something good, but they're located in the Blue Lot D all season long. They've been around for over a decade, so they'll be back for the 2025 season, and they invite everybody. That's the great thing about their tailgate. They welcome anybody that stops by. They have good food always. They have TV screens, and it's just a good time to chat with your fellow UH fans. So again, they'll be back for the 2025 season, so be sure to check them out whenever the first home game is during the 2025 season. And last but not least, we also like to say thank you to BB's Tex Orleans Cajun Cooking. Be sure to follow them on social media at BB's Tex Orleans, like you see it on the screen on Instagram, Facebook, or on X. And be sure to stop by online at bbstexorleans.com and check out the triple play that they have. They also have multiple locations throughout the Houston area, so be sure to check them out. And for both Star Pizza and BB's and for Coogston, tell them that you heard about them on Let's Rage Coogs.
And I just thought about this, guys. Next Saturday might be a combo show because the basketball game's at 2:30. If the football game kickoff is around the same time, we might have to do a combo post-game show, depending what time the kickoff is. So, so who knows?
That'll work. We know Bryce watch hoops.
Yeah.
We're going to have Bryce talking basketball next week.
Don't miss a basketball game. I mean, those are my guys. I feel like I'm a bandwagon fan now, so
it's all good. But yeah, we'll be here Tuesday night. Basketball game at 7:30 tip-off against Alabama in Vegas. So we'll have post-game right around 10 o'clock, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then that Thursday morning.
Yeah, because Wednesday game tips off at 11:30 our time, p.m. against Notre Dame. So that won't be over until like 1:30 in the morning.
Yep.
So we'll be saying Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Either that or we'll get it. We committed for each and every single postgame show, but if for whatever reason it doesn't start, that means we fell asleep. But we'll be there. We'll be there.
We'll make it work.
The Arizona game was tough, man.
Yeah, we'll make it work. It's gonna be Let's Rage Coogs After Dark next week. But thank you as always to everybody for taking time out of your night to discuss a 2010 loss to Baylor. Your comments always appreciated. Spread the word about Let's Rage Coogs. Football season's almost over, and then we'll begin the year 2 era under Coach Fritz. But basketball is here.
And a full year of recruiting under Fritz.
Yes, that's very important. And Bryce, man, if you want to hop on some basketball shows post-game, feel free, brother, because, a lot of our basketball Cougs are playing overseas, so the time difference is a problem for us to get them. But as always, everybody, thank you for supporting the show, for supporting Paul Samajama, for supporting the Houston Round Ball Review. And I've been doing this 30 years, and keep this in mind, since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review, local name, global perspective.
Bryce, any final thoughts? Anything you'd like to plug?
As we tone down the season, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Andy, Dana, and Chris, man. Thank you guys for having me on. This has been a blast, man. To all the people who follow us and watch us, thank you guys for tuning in. I get the DMs. I separate outside this. I appreciate you guys for enjoying us Oh man, this has been a blast. I mean, I know sometimes we be emotional, and as a former player and fan, it's tough sometimes. But that just shows the passion that all four of us has for this university, and that we want to see these sports succeed. So I'm thankful for you guys, man. It's going to get better and better, and I appreciate you guys. Continue to tell somebody about us. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and go Cougs.
Of course, man. Appreciate you, Newt, Bryce, for jumping down with us, man. We definitely appreciate your expertise. You helped take the show to another level, no question. So we definitely can't thank you enough. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in throughout every episode. This game, the last game, be sure to tell somebody we're gonna go out with a bang. We're gonna go out with another upset victory in the season on the right way, going to the off season, riding high, looking to build on what's been in my eyes a successful first year in Willie Fritz. I think he surprised a few people, and I think there's some promise to build on there. And just got to get that offense in order. And I think that Houston is on the right track, and I've enjoyed it, man. I'm looking forward to continuing this in basketball season. A lot more smiles, a lot more victory shows, and so I'm excited, man. As always, it's go Cougs.